So today, we are making one of the most classic dishes from Spain, and even though this is a heartwarming recipe, it's a dish that you will find served all year round because it is that good. We're talking Spanish beans with chorizo. This dish is known in Spain as Alubias con chorizo, and let me tell you, it packs some serious flavors to it. It's very easy to make, where there's no tricky techniques or special equipment, and it's all done in about 30 minutes. Folks, serve this dish next to a crunchy baguette and a bottle of Spanish wine. More specifically from the wine region of Ribera del Duero, you're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful España. Let's begin by getting our ingredients ready. That way, once we have everything prepped, this dish will come together within minutes. I'm gonna roughly chop one medium-sized onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, cut 1 green bell pepper into large chunks, and roughly chop 1 carrot that's been peeled. Then we'll drain 2 15.5-ounce cans of white beans, which are 440 grams each, into a colander, and rinse the beans under some cold running water. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to cut 2 chorizo links. This is 200 grams, which is about 8 ounces, each one into rounds that are 1/2 inch thick, which is 1 1/4 centimeters. The chorizo that I'm using is a plant-based Spanish chorizo. However, traditionally, regular Spanish chorizo is used here. Either way you go, make sure to use a firm chorizo. That way, once you cook it, it holds its shape and it doesn't fall apart. All right, let's start cooking our dish. I'm gonna grab a large fry pan, heat it with a medium heat. Now to make this recipe, I'm using a paella pan as it gives this dish a beautiful presentation, but you can just use a standard fry pan or even a stock pot. And I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. After about 1 minute, I'm gonna add in the slices of chorizo, and we'll mix the chorizo around. That way it's coated in that olive oil, and we're gonna saute the slices between 2 to 3 minutes. After about 3 minutes, and the slices of chorizo are lightly sauteed, I'm gonna remove them from the pan and set them aside. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, I'm gonna add in all the chopped vegetables. And once again, we'll mix the vegetables around, that way they're coated in that olive oil. And as you know, I like to mix this continuously, that way everything evenly sautés. After about 4 minutes, and the vegetables are lightly sauteed, I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is about 2.5 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the paprika is evenly coating all the vegetables. As always, the Spanish paprika that I'm using is from Kiva. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll get 25% off your order. Then I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, which is 115 grams. And we'll give it a mix and simmer it for a couple minutes. As always, the tomato sauce that I'm using, I made by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, passata, or even Spanish tomate frito. After about 3 minutes, and the tomato sauce has slightly thickened up, I'm gonna add in the drained white beans, the slices of chorizo that we sauteed earlier, and we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a gentle mix until everything's well mixed together. Then we'll add in some cold water into the pan, just enough to barely cover the ingredients, which is 2.5 cups in my case, or 600 milliliters. Of course, you can also use broth here, but traditionally water is used here, that way it doesn't overpower the flavors of the chorizo. And we'll also add in 2 bay leaves. Then we'll turn up the heat to a high heat, give it a mix, and bring it to a boil. Once the water comes to a boil, I'm gonna lower the fire to a low-medium heat, and we're gonna simmer this for about 10 minutes. This is enough time for all the flavors to develop and for those white beans to have a beautiful melt-in-your-mouth texture. After about 10 minutes, and you can see that the liquid has reduced in half, this dish is ready to go. I'm gonna remove the pan from the heat, and we'll garnish it with some fresh parsley. Check it out, our alubias con chorizo are done. Spanish beans with chorizo, beautiful presentation, super easy to make, and all done in about 30 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. As always, now is time for the moment of truth. Let's see how this dish turned out. And I will let you know, I feel a little bit under the weather because of the time of the year, horrible. But I know this is gonna make me feel so much better. Here we go. Absolutely delicious. And with that first spoonful, it instantly warms your soul. You know, folks, like I always tell you, this is what the Spanish kitchen is all about. No tricky techniques, no special equipment, it's simple hometown cooking that packs a ton of goodness. Give this dish a try home and I promise you're gonna absolutely love it. Real quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Debbie Lee, Maria, Dark Matter, Catherine Deshays, and Karen Reynolds. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. It's a wrap. And I hate that I don't feel 100%, but I know this is gonna make me feel at least a 99%. See you next video, hasta luego.